Hey everyone, this is Abhijit again from Pineapple Labs Private Limited, and I'd welcome you all to another video that I am making for this organization. But this video is not going to be about our usual videos that we upload on our YouTube channel or on our, you can say, private channels where people enroll for our courses, be it for the courses that we do deliver, be it SD-WAN, be it Python for network automations and all. But this video is really going to be a casual video where I'd like to discuss with you one-on-one about what are my thoughts and what we are coming into this market with the perspective, with the approach of. So because there are a lot of other guys who are looking forward to jump into shifting their careers from traditional networking into things like automation, into things like ACI, into things like solutions that companies are coming up with. And there are so many vendors, including Cisco, including Juniper, including Silver Peak, including Citrix, including so many vendors are stepping in to the market in order to grab a hands on how traditional networks are changing the game now, because networks are not really common. So there are quite a couple of questions that I've been receiving, mostly from our clients, from our students, and they want to get, or it'll be really be beneficial for them if we clear these things to most of the audience. Because whenever a new customer or whenever a new client comes to us, I would say idea about whether or not the client or the customer or any user or any individual is looking forward to jump into this new line of certification, this new line of stream that the industry is moving towards. They're pretty much confused about what is this really, what is network automation really, and why do you need automation at all? Why can't we just move ahead with the traditional way? It's pretty good. We can just get connected with thousands of devices and deploy configurations on them. But why are we looking forward to change the entire game now? Then you have some other questions like, I would say, is it really making a difference? Is it going to, and at last it's about individuals' benefit as well. People are willing to work hard. People are willing to learn something new so that it can be beneficial for them as well. Okay, we do not really want to accept that, but that's a very good reality, I would say. You need to accept it because everyone's looking forward to excel in their own, I would say, path, whatever they are working hard for. They're looking forward for success. So I thought of making a casual video and answering, or you can say discussing about what are my common thoughts about these common questions that we generally get, so that whenever someone looks for to signing up for these newly announced trainings, these newly announced exams that even Cisco and Juniper and all these other vendors are coming up with, they need to be clear about whether is it good for them or whether they should continue to work hard in their, you can say, in whatever field that they're working in. So yeah. Now, talking about the very first, I would say, question that I'd like to answer here, or that I'd like to clarify here, that what is the use of network automation? So if I start to talk about network automation, is not something that a new candidate can come in and he can start learning about network automation, because network automation is something which is not that beneficial if you deploy it into small scale enterprises, or if you deploy it in a scenario where there are just like 5 routers or 10 routers that are being used with. It is something that companies or tech giant companies are looking forward to deploy in their hefty, big or heavy scale infrastructure, be it like global sites. Like if I take a company of, let's say a company called ABC, which has sites in London and Dubai and USA, and you can say we're not in India as well. So whenever they look forward to connect all these branches together, they need to invest a lot of money into purchasing hardware that would actually connect these multiple branches together. Okay. Now, when we talk about network automation, if you do deploy configurations into such complex scenarios in today's world, then it's gonna take a lot of efforts for you guys to maintain that network, to add up new things into the network, because everything in the network changes up if you try to deploy something new. And with the power of virtualization, everything is kind of getting virtual, and along with cloud as well. So you're having virtual deployments, that too in cloud. And you need to make sure that the services that you're deploying virtually in the cloud needs to be accessible from any point of the world to any employee in the world, right? So meeting such requirements of big tech giant companies takes huge efforts, because there comes maintainability, there comes scalability, there comes reliability. All such factors actually needs to be ensured, and there is like a lot of like big teams that actually works hard to keep the network up and running. So network automation is a huge step towards making network operations easier. And I'd like to make it very clear that it doesn't change the packet switching, packet forwarding technologies, or circuit switching technologies, or whatever technology that you use, which actually makes your traffic to go from one location to other location possible. Okay, it doesn't change any of that. So automation is purely something that actually focuses on how to improve operations. It means that you still are going to configure BGP, you still are going to configure OSPF and ACL and NAT and IPv6 and whatnot. You still are going to play with those things, that those things are going to be there for a longer time. But it's about improving network automation. Or you can say it's about not network automation, yeah, it's about improving network operations, okay? Because earlier, if I'll give you a very quick example. If your IT manager kind of asks you to go out there on the desk, and let's say there are around 100 devices, mixture of layer 3 switches, mixture of routers, mixture of core switches, and you can say aggregation routers and firewalls and whatnot. And all these devices are there deployed in your production. Now, you have been assigned a task to actually gather some data from these devices. So your manager actually wants you to grab serial number of the device, version of the device, what's the hardware that is actually being used. Then after that, what's the management IP address, and several other information. And your manager actually wants this particular information in an Excel file, because manager doesn't give a shit about how like CLI outputs are created. Okay, manager needs to produce that particular data in front of the higher management so that they can make some monetary decisions about how are they willing to purchase newer hardware so that they can advance, they can say, for the betterment of the advancement of the company. So they need to see what's running or what's cooking in the kitchen as of now, and then decide what new ingredients they're willing to bring in, be it like new hardware, be it new, I can say, file cables to connect or to improve how connectivity is actually ensured, right? So this particular task, when you get assigned of such task that actually requires you to go out on every device and fetch out some data, it's a repetitive task. And humans are not at all required to do repetitive tasks, because you are then underestimating the capabilities of your brain, and you are spending unnecessary time doing the repetitive tasks. Humans created computers, human created machines, so that these repetitive tasks actually can be taken care by the machine, because machine is not gonna feel frustrated when someone asks it to do a certain repetitive task for a day, for a week, for a month, or whatsoever. The machine is going to feel comfortable as soon as it gets supplied with power, right? And it's gonna do its job no matter what. So network automation comes into picture when you think about such scenarios, that whenever there are requirements of repetitive tasks to be done, you can ask your machine to actually fetch out all that data by using programming languages or programming capabilities, be it, I would say, Python, be it third-party applications like Postman, be it third-party applications like Azure and AWS and all. There are features that are integrated inside the cloud solutions as well that helps you to automate your network. Okay, so network automation is playing big now, and it is going to, we still are into transition of this network automation, but I would say if you start digging into this technology, because there are not much or there are not so many people who have explored this technology yet. If I tell you about and probably this is not as well for freshers to join in. If you are someone who actually doesn't know anything about networking, I'd suggest you to first get your hands on to, or get your hands dirty with routers and how to configure them and all. Okay, so you do your associate courses, be it CCNA, be it JNCA, or be it any other vendor's associate course. You do get your hands dirty there first. And then once you are comfortable deploying configurations and all onto the devices, then you come here and talk about how to automate the network. Because if you do not know what's network, then how are you willing to automate it? So this technology is for those who are already dealing into networking, and they're looking forward to learn something new about it. Okay, because, and also then people might be working in WAN routers, ISR series routers, ASR series routers, you can say Juniper's advanced devices and all. They must be working into WAN infrastructure, LAN infrastructure, wireless infrastructure. There are so many things out there. But still, they have been working in this field for 5 years, for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and there's no limit. So they are looking forward for a change. They are looking forward for something new that they can get their hands on. But since network engineers have not had any privilege to talk about coding, to talk about Python, to talk about development, they are really keen about configuring the network. And this network automation is a new way of how you can configure your device, how you can monitor your device, how operations can actually be improvised by using programmatic ways. Okay, so this particular automation is pretty much required because the biggest reason that we have is network is becoming complex and complex and complex every single day because of the increasing, I would say, smartness of the infrastructure that we have around us. Our smartphones, our televisions, our air conditioners, our refrigerators, everything is kind of getting connected over the network. And such kind of devices makes network even more complex in order to make it available, okay, from anywhere. These particular home appliances, these appliances are actually being managed by our smartphone applications as well. If you're somewhere else on a remote location and you want to control the air conditioner of your house, you can just log in into the respected app and you can do whatever you want with your air conditioner there from a remote machine. So connectivity comes and plays a big role over there. And since network is becoming that complex, you actually need to innovate something that would help you to manage this complex network or to manage the operations of this complex network. So network automation is a thing that relates to such kind of environment. Now you would know that why do we actually require network automation at all, right? Now, talking about how do we think differently about this particular technology coming into play. So I've been dealing into networking since past around 8+ years, and I've been delivering corporate trainings since then. So I've had privileges to deliver trainings for people who are completely freshers, to college students, and to someone who actually have been using or working with government organizations for around 40 years as well. So I've covered, like I can say, pretty huge span of people or span of clients that I've interacted with. And I've got to know about what do they actually think and how do they work and how complex or how easy their networks are. So when I have been dealing with these people delivering trainings into corely in routing and switching, security, service provider, data center and whatnot, while delivering these trainings, I discovered something that Cisco came up with this network automation, with this DevNet thing. And we thought of creating, or the things suddenly strike my mind that why can't we focus more onto something which looks pretty interesting and which looks pretty overtaking for all the legacy technologies or terminologies that are out there. So I started digging into network automation, I started digging into programmability, I started digging into Python and things like that. And then I thought of creating some custom course that would actually help people to start or move their career from traditional networking to network automation. Because so here's the thing, when I saw, because if you look at the official curriculum of Cisco's, let's say Cisco's official courses that focuses on certifications tracks like DevNet Associate and DevNet Professionals, Cisco's exam blueprint doesn't actually cover the fundamentals of programming. So I also saw a couple of interviews of Cisco where Cisco's officials stated that they had interactions with a lot of companies, and it was required for companies that their network engineers should actually understand how application development works, and their application developers needs to know about how network works. So it's kind of a mix and match the companies were looking for, and that's why they kind of created this DevNet trainings or DevNet certifications, keeping in mind that it would be the target audience that they were catering for was people from application development environment. So they were expecting that developers are going to take this course, and then they will be helping network engineers to automate their network. But it turned out the other way around. So people who were already dealing into networking signed up. 95% of the people who signed up for courses like these, DevNet Associates and DevNet Professionals in our training institute, was from networking background. So people, or I would say companies, were actually, more companies turned out to tell network engineers to take up these courses, because network engineers are the ones who are pretty much familiar with what's deployed in the production. So when I started to deliver these trainings, DevNet Associate and DevNet Professional trainings, in the beginning of when they started to roll out, I quickly realized that there is a huge gap between or in the content that is officially created by Cisco. And the training was also officially for 5 days, which is like a 40 hours training, but officially Cisco do deliver a 40-hour training in 5 days, like 8 hours a day, like that. So I started to realize that people are not making use of the content that much, or people either of saying like not making use. I would say they were not able to make use of such wonderful content that is going to be out there, or that is going to change the way about how network operations are managed. So I thought of, I would say, creating a custom course where the gap that I told you, that the gap I was seeing, that there is a lot of gap in the content. The gap was about people not being familiar with Python, with programming, with application development methods and all. So that's why I thought of creating custom courses where I would basically include the fundamentals of Python, include the fundamentals of SDN, and include, and I would say start from the very beginning of Python and make people first comfortable with Python, and then dig into things like network automation. So when we started to do that, then I got pretty good response from crowds all over the world. I delivered these Python for network automation trainings for several of my clients, and then they were pretty much happy that and they also gave us feedback that if they would have gone, I would say, straight away for the official courses, they wouldn't have made most of it, because the content was not that helpful when they looked at it, when they compared with the custom trainings. So we at PyNet Labs, we thought of continuing this journey of creating custom courses so that we can actually understand the requirements of clients. And then if someone, like, we are kind of creating courses by keeping in mind that someone is willing to change the domain, because of network automation being our USP. We will think with the perspective of, if someone or most of our clients who are going to sign up these courses are looking forward to have a change in the domain that they're working in. They must be experts in data center operations. They might be expert into, I would say, service provider operations. They might be coming from various other domains, having expertise in that. But if someone is willing to sign up for this course, this is kind of an associate level course, and people are willing to change their domain of work. So we need to take care of all the prerequisites that we fulfill in for everyone who actually enrolls for this course. So we created these custom trainings which would take care of the fundamentals and the prerequisite knowledge that you would require in order to move into the journey of network automation. So that's how we think about this particular course. Now, what makes or what is the best thing about this course? You can say that the journey, whenever you're going to sign up for this particular course is completely going to be new for you, because we're not going to talk about things like OSPF, things like BGP, things like RIP, things like I would say STP, and things like how layer 2 operations works in a deep way, because that's how the transition has been for quite a long time now. You learn about OSPF in CCNA, then you learn in deeper way into CCNP, and even deeper way in CCI. But the protocol is not going to change. Same goes for every other concept that is out there. There are subtopics that actually adds up to the major topics. Like you learn something about STP in associate course, then you learn something more inside of it. You do not discover something new completely that actually replaces STP. STP is going to be there with you. So this particular training, however, introduces you with completely new journey of how network operations are working, and this is completely different than the traditional networking courses. That's what I can say, and it's a fun experience to learn something new always, right? So yeah. And then if I talk about why should someone who is looking forward to build their career in network automation sign up with our courses at Pinet Labs? Well, and a question might strike you as well, that what do we do differently? So if I talk about my prior experiences of delivering trainings, then most of my clients, be it like B2B client or B2C clients, they sign up for this official courses. And when I do deliver official courses, I need to finish the content in 5 days, because we go 8 hours straight in a day. So we at Pinet Labs, we are not continuing with this legacy thing, because whenever someone signs up for the official course, then they get lab accesses from the vendors, be it Juniper's course, be it Cisco's course, be it someone else's course. So due to the restriction of having the lab access only for 5 days, they need to wrap up the labs as well. They need to wrap up the theory as well. Well, that kind of makes the experience pretty, I would say, rapid, and an individual doesn't end up getting most of the content which they should really spend time on digesting, because these are completely new concepts that someone is learning. And if you're losing the connectivity with your instructor in just 5 days, then you kind of go or just try to I would say start to learn something new, and then the class ends. So we are taking care of that particular thing, number one, in our organization, that we are not going to keep the length of our class that big. Generally, we do deliver classes for 3 hours or 4 hours, depending on how the calendar is actually being planned for that particular assignment. But yeah, we do take care of delivering classes that are crisp and short, so that whatever important concept that we're covering for that particular day, the individual gets enough time to digest that and enough time to revise that. And apart from that, whatever classes we do deliver, we give the lifetime recording access on our portal. So an individual gets to sign up on our portal, and he can log into that portal for the lifetime, and he can watch our sessions recordings over there for n number of times. So that's another thing that actually adds value to the sign up or value to the enrollment. And then we also take care of the labs as well. So we do allow flexible timings whenever you sign up for courses like SD-WAN, whenever we sign up for courses like PCNE, or which is Python for network engineers and all. So whenever you sign up for these particular courses, then you can say that these courses are basically, or these courses comes up with lab access as well. So we do have our in-house data center that actually allows you to access real-time labs for the courses that you sign up for. Yeah, and apart from that, these like lab accesses are, you can say, flexible with their times. So we probably do deliver our services sitting in India, okay? And people might be attending our courses or trainings sitting in US, sitting in Eastern time, or you can say London or somewhere else around the world. You can have your lab access times flexible according to your time zone. We do take care of that as well. And the most important thing is we do have our chat support, a 24/7 Telegram chat support, where if you are practicing your labs, basically the instructor is not going to be with you for like 24/7, right? But the instructor is available into the chat support 24/7. Our dedicated team is available into the Telegram chat support for 24/7. So you might be sometime revising the thing, you might be practicing the lab, you might be facing some other difficulty. You just put up a chat into our channels, which are private Telegram channels, only limited to the lab access. Sorry, only limited to the I would say participants of that particular training. And then a chat support actually answers to your queries straight away right there. So these are quite, I would say, perks and benefits about signing up for the courses with us. And we do take care of the courses to completely be eligible for to be called as value for money courses, because someone spends some money on that, they actually expect a return from that particular money that they invest. So it's lastly, it's taken care of as well. And yeah, the courses that we do deliver are PCNE, Python for networking, because courses that actually comes in under the umbrella of SDN, because SDN is the major topic, software defined networking. Then things like network automation, things like SD-WAN, software defined wide area network, things like SD access, things like ACI, all these particular, you can say, courses are children technologies to software defined networking. So this is one major thing, and our USP at Pinet Labs Private Limited is SDN itself. So yeah, that's what I would say, that this is how we keep experiences, and this is how we keep our vision towards the network automation, which is a rapidly booming technology in the near future. So if you're willing to start your career into network automation, currently working in traditional networking, you are pretty much going the correct way, and I request you to please stick to the path which you are about to follow, or which you are willing to follow, and you'll definitely get success over there. That's been all in this video. I hope you would enjoy the things that I mentioned in this video or in this small bit, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.